Hey everyone, it's Jack here, TalkNorwichCity. Welcome back to the channel. Back today to review Norwich City's latest home game at Carrow Road. 0-0 draw against Preston North End in a game which, I think presented huge opportunity for the Canaries. It's a big week. Preston today, Sheffield Wednesday on Wednesday, and then an East Anglian derby looming this time next week. So we had an opportunity here to, if we'd have won, we'd have been 1 point from the playoffs. If we beat Sheffield Wednesday, one would hope we will beat them, although an improving Sheffield Wednesday, you would hope that you'd beat a team in the bottom three at home. You then give yourself real foundations going into an East Anglian derby that we're probably expecting to lose and probably will deserve to lose the way that Ipswich are playing at the moment. But at least you give yourself somewhat of hope. And actually, I just had that horrible, impending kind of sense of doom after watching Norwich again today. It wasn't a shocking performance. There were opportunities for Norwich to win it, but just feel like we are desperately sleepwalking into mid-table mediocrity. And I've had comments on these videos in recent weeks going, well, Jack, that's exactly where you predicted us to finish. Well, yes, I predicted us to finish mid-table in the Championship with this squad and this manager and this head coach. But the hope would be that we try and change and we try and transition to something different. But we're not. I think if you look at the form of the past month, you go, okay, so we beat Bristol City away from home, we beat Cardiff away from home, and we beat QPR at home. That's 3 decent wins in the last 4, and the neutral and someone that hasn't maybe watched us would go, well, what are you moaning about? That's a good set of fixtures that you've won, and you're just 3 points off the playoffs. Like, what are you moaning for? Well, I'm moaning because the results. The performances aren't getting better, and if you extrapolate the performances over the course of the season, we are going to finish probably somewhere between 10th and 14th. I think we're 13th at the moment. That's exactly where we belong. We are a very average Championship team who will win a couple and then lose a couple and then draw a couple. And you kind of have this roller coaster of emotion when you win a couple and you're at the top of that kind of period. You go, okay, like we're only 3 points off the playoffs and it's in touching distance, and if we can string a few more together, then there might be hope. We had this all of last season. How late in the season did we go where we go, oh, we're only 4 points off, we're only 5 points off, and then it comes to a point where you're 8 points off with 2 games to go and the dream is over. That's exactly what is happening this season. It was a performance of just stodginess, just a complete lack of ideas. Preston were abysmal, and it's easy to see. It's easy to see how they're. I think was it 1 win in 10 for them. I think they're bottom of the form table if you're looking at over the last 10 games. I guess they came with a game plan, and this isn't any dig to Preston North End. This is very much a criticism of Norwich City. They came with a game plan. They defended okay. They had 5 at the back. It was difficult to break them down. But if you're a team looking to get into the top 6, you break that down. You find a way, and Norwich did find a way through on a couple of occasions. The best chance of the game fell to Liam Gibbs, who stuck it wide. And look, I'm not gonna pile into Liam Gibbs. He came on as a substitute. He got into a good area. He skewed his shot wide. He's not a number 10. He's not an attacking player. David Wagner needs to give up on that dream. I think Gibbs is a very capable young footballer, and clearly someone with a lot of talent, but let's utilise him to the best of his abilities. I thought he looked really good when he was playing slightly deeper. We've got players like Gabby Sarah and Kenny McLean. I mean, the second half of that game, we essentially had Marcelino Nunez and Kenny McLean in centre-back. And you're just looking at this whole setup going like, we're just trying everything, and yet we're also trying nothing at the same time. Shane Duffy whipping in crosses towards the end. You've got Puemozo Apaheta coming back in at left back. You've got an Adam Eder who's essentially trying to get on the shoulder of defenders, but they're not playing high enough up. You take Ashley Barnes off, and then you start to deliver the crosses. This is a team that's just chucking stuff desperately at the wall in the hope that something will stick, and really nothing is. And this is a real concern because we've been here before. We know what's going to happen. We may well beat Sheffield Wednesday on Wednesday. We may well get something out of the East Anglian derby. But if we genuinely want any chance of progressing with this side, we need to change head coach. And I'm flat saying it now because I know that I know realistically that isn't going to happen in the next couple of weeks. We've missed our opportunity with that. The opportunity came post beating Cardiff City in a truly chaotic game that we probably deserved to lose. That was the opportunity. And yes, we've had a couple of wins since then. One at Bristol City, a win against QPR. Was that before or after Cardiff? I can't even remember. Norwich City don't deal well when we're the ones having to make decisions almost. And granted, it doesn't always go to plan when we're not the ones making decisions. But at least against Cardiff, there was a chaos that we could take advantage of. There was a chaotic element against Bristol City. QPR, we snuck through with our only shot on target. Like, this is only going in one direction. And maybe that's what we just have to accept. Maybe we have to accept that we're a mid-table championship team, but I'm not willing to lower my expectations to that level yet. I genuinely think there's quality in this side. I think there's more that we can get out of it. I just looked at that performance today and I was so uninspired. Just lumping these hopeful balls into the box where we've got Johnny Rowe in there against 5 6-foot plus defenders. Like, what are we expecting? And maybe if Liam Gibbs had scored and Shane Duffy had have scored his header, which was somehow cleared off the line and we'd won 2-0, I might be sitting here and going, we're grinding out results and we're heading in the right direction. But actually, I think, I'm still yet to see a decent 90-minute performance this season. I don't think. There was a spell against Watford. I don't think I saw a single patch in today's game that I was, inspired by. There was a patch against Bristol City and maybe a patch against Cardiff City, but I'm just looking at this side and going, we're just going through the motions at this stage. Maybe that's what the club want. I don't know. But every match review I film at the moment seems to be coming back to the same spot, and there's just a real aura of apathy at Carrow Road. I mean, it was half empty today. There were so many empty seats. Yes, maybe the weather put some people off, but I think there's a realization now that nothing's changing. And until it does, I don't think we will have that excitement back. I mean, 18 shots today, expected goals of 1.24. We bossed the ball. I think if we probably didn't deserve to beat Cardiff and Bristol City, we may be on the edge. On play today, we probably deserved to edge it, but we didn't. I think things even themselves out over the course of the season. The absolutely mad thing is here, I mean, Preston are above us in 9th place. How that's happened, I'm not so sure. We are still only 3 points off the playoffs. Like, there is a genuine opportunity here, if we do get it right, to make a real charge into the playoffs. If we'd have won today, we would have been just a point off. The frustration is, I can see I can see hope in this team. I can see a way through, and yet we're seemingly not changing it. And that's a real frustration. Look, we will continue to break this down over the next week or so. I'm just looking at that Ipswich game in a week's time, and yes, it's a derby, and yes, form goes out of the window, but they are miles, absolutely miles ahead of us in terms of patterns of play, style, identity, quality. Like, this is a team so far off the level of the top two at the moment. It's saddening, and that shouldn't be the way. That really shouldn't be the way. Look, Norwich probably did deserve to win today, but still, it was stodgy. It was same old, and that frustrates me hugely. Look, we haven't lost, and Preston maybe could have nicked it. They hit the crossbar. They had a good chance from a corner that was cleared off the line. We could have quite easily been talking about a 1-0 defeat here. Equally, we could have been talking about a 2-0 win, but it was 0-0, and I think looking at the entirety of that game, just uninspired, deeply uninspired with what I'm continuing to see. Let me know what you think. Maybe I'm being harsh here. Maybe I'm being too nice. You always tell me down in the comment section below. I will hear from you, and I will speak to you all very soon. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye-bye.